You are not just ready, but you are living the life already. You are walking this path already, is the message I received from Mary Magdalene when I asked for guidance for the collective. Now, I was shown that with all the work that you have done recently, right? In your subconscious mind, like you are living that path already. The path of a mistake, a healer, the one that creates sacred container, the one that is the sacred container itself for different parts of self and even for others as well. So you are living the path already, but your conscious mind is still catching up. So your subconscious mind is ready already living this path, but your conscious mind is still catching up, as if it needs like more proof or more validation that you are ready. It felt like the conscious mind wants to prepare more or to be more clear or like have more clarity or know how. But the message is that you are not just ready, like you are living the path already, and it's just time for us to release the resistance of our conscious mind and integrate it with the subconscious mind so we can fully live who we are, like the path that we are subconsciously walking already. There is some kind of resistance consciously. I also felt some sadness in your being. So I don't know if you have been feeling recently like some kind of subtle sadness in the background that is not so much on the surface, but in the background, like just lingering. And that sadness is the sadness of your being, which knows that it's doing already, like it's being like who it is, like already with all the work that you have done. But it wants to release the heaviness, like it's indicating that there is some heaviness that needs to be released, the heaviness that our conscious mind is carrying, like the heaviness of like the perfectionism or of like not being enough or not doing enough. So it still wants to like keep doing, keep preparing, keep getting clarity, and keep like needing to know like how. So once that's released, and this message is the permission slip or the sign for you from Mary Magdalene that, hey, it's time for you to release this and fully embody, fully embody this being that you are being already, like the mistake, the mystic, the healer for self and others, the embodying of the sacred sensuality, or this connection that you have created with yourself or with your physical sensations, with your feelings. So you, this is you, and it's time for you to like fully embody. There's nothing more to be done. Like you have done already enough. And I was also shown that how each one of us has a beast archetype within us. And like this beast archetype can be judged by others who are not able to integrate this beast archetype. But you are not that person, because you have already been in your life right now, have integrated this beast, like this primal, this instinctive part of yourself with love and with reverence, not just for yourself, but you have been doing it for others as well. So like I was shown how, like even with Mary Magdalene, right, like for those who were not able to integrate their beast part, the beast archetype within themselves, they saw this sacred sensuality or this mystic or the spiritual authority that Mary Magdalene had as like something bad or negative. But you have done all the work already that has integrated this beast within ourselves as with immense love, loving acceptance and reverence, like Mary Magdalene did. So you are embodying the energy of Mary Magdalene already. And then I asked for more. I was like, okay, like the conscious mind, like if it wants to understand things logically, like tell me more about like the work that have been done already, and like about this beast archetype kind of thing. And then I started receiving more messages. So I have like created notes and I'm going to share with you. So what I received was like this beast archetype, like it usually shows up in our life as that like raw, instinctive, untamed part of us. And then after that, we have like two options. We can either like fear that part, or we can integrate that part. So what's really happening right now is that in your subconsciously, you have integrated that part already with love and reverence. But consciously, like your conscious mind still believes that needs to be done, and therefore it's like it still fears that like that beast archetype within you, like that's there within us, like all of us. So I was like, okay, so like how did this integration like happen, and like how does, like how am I really, or like people who are watching this video, like who are being called to watch this video, like how are they embodying, like how have they embodied already? So I was shown like how the shadow side of the beast, like how the shadow side of the beast is, how the embodied like integrated part of the beast archetype looks like, and how like the beast archetype is usually misunderstood. So the shadow side of this beast archetype, like it's our like unconscious desires, are like survival instincts, and it can come up as like hunger or power or chaos or lust or rage. Whereas like we have already integrated this part with love and reverence, with loving acceptance, without any judgment. Like we have already for ourselves, and we do that for others as well. Yeah, so it feels like this message is coming across as like Mary Magdalene really wants you to know that you have done all the work already. So it is coming as if it's like, hey, like I want you to know that you have done the work already. So the embodied, like that's what I felt just now, like when while it was coming. So the embodied version, like how you have integrated and embodied already, right? Like it says like the embodied version of the beast archetype, like it holds immense energy of passion. It's the primal life force, like that is actually supportive on our path, like the creative power. So that's what it becomes. So you have been like holding, like you using that, you have been you have integrated already, and you have been like using this beast archetype as like this creative power, like this primal life force that supports you. And it's time for you to see like, okay, like how am I doing this in my life? And you are already. So it's time for you to like see and acknowledge. And like it, the embodied integrated beast archetype also comes across as like protective. And like how I felt this protection was like the mama bear kind of protection for its cubs. So that's how it's been like, you have been embodying it already. It comes across as passion. It comes across as like deeply truthful, like energy, even when like the truth is uncomfortable. And that is what authenticity is like. So you have been living a life of authenticity. So the embodied integrated beast archetype also feels like really courageous. So it faces what others fear. So it's time for you to see, okay, like you have been facing like what others fears with like a lot of courage. Like it can walk into the dark rather than just like talking, right? So you have been like truly embodying. So this is like how you have been embodying, like in your everyday life, subconsciously, this beast archetype already, like integrated, which for others it might come across as like negative or something to be suppressed, because they haven't been able to integrate this beast archetype within themselves. And this is where like you are also creating like sacred container, loving, accepting space that is like without any judgment for them as well. um yeah, and like so it's time for you to, like, what the message that came across was like, I was shown like how, like that moment when like Mary Magdalene like shared like with spiritual authority what Christ consciousness shared with her, and her like unapologetically embodying her sacred sensuality, like the connection that she had with her body, knowing that this body is actually a sacred vehicle, like a temple that is helping her expand her consciousness in this lifetime. So having a lot of honor for that. So how she unapologetically was being the spiritual authority in that moment, embodying her sacred sensuality, being the mystic that has connection with the inner and the outer world. It's time for you to fully embody without any resistance that the conscious mind is creating. It's time for you to release that sadness by knowing, by releasing the perfectionism, the not being enough, not doing enough, or needing to know more information, more clarity, more preparation. You are living the life already. Like you are that. Yeah, so this is a message I received from Mary Magdalene, and I hope it is useful on your journey. It definitely is useful for me on my journey. Yeah, like I'm feeling, also feeling really called to channel some more information about like embodying the mystique and the sacred sensuality, and the embodying the spiritual authority, and like basically the Magdalene path. And I will start creating like those videos as well. Yeah, and if there's anything that you want me to channel through Mary Magdalene, please feel free to write down in comments so I can channel that information that can be helpful for the collective. Like all the questions that are surfacing. Yeah, so yeah, so I will leave this here, and thank you so much for listening to the video. Thank you for subscribing and liking. Thank you so much.